Hello everyone, and welcome back to Recap V. Today we'll be talking about an action, adventure, horror, sci-fi, thriller movie called Alien vs. Predator. Alien vs. Predator is a 2004 science fiction action film written and directed by Paul W.S. Anderson. Watch out for spoilers and let us begin. The movie starts off in Antarctica 1904, where we see a man who is running from something. He goes into a building to hide, but as soon as he entered, something creeps up behind him. It points its lasers at him, and as is about to kill the man, something else appears, attacking it. Then we are sent in the year 2004. We see a man entering Weyland Industries. He brings food for the other workers, and as they are about to go eat, an alarm goes off. They find out that a satellite had detected heat bloom beneath Bouvet, an island about 1,000 miles off the coast of Antarctica. Then we see a woman hiking. She gets a phone call from a guy called Maxwell Stafford, a representative of Weyland Industries. He asks her to meet with Mr. Weyland tomorrow. She says that is going to take her at least a week to meet with him. But when she reaches the top, the man on the phone was already waiting for her, with a helicopter ready to go. After this, we are sent to Mexico where we see two archaeologists, Sebastian de Rosa and Thomas Parks. Unable to find a thing, and without money, they are approached by Maxwell Stafford, who is willing to help them if they go with him. Then in a helicopter, we see Alexa Woods and a guy called Graham Miller who's a mechanical engineer. They are being taken to a ship. Inside we see a group of experts, archaeologists, linguists, mercenaries, and mountaineers. They are all assembled and called by Mr. Weyland. He explains to them that one of his satellites has captured heat blooms in Bouvet Island, outlining a massive pyramid. He points out that his experts aren't sure who built it and when, since it contains features of pyramids all over the world. Sebastian then comes out saying the pyramid might be the first one to be built, by the first civilization. Graham asks how could anyone build a pyramid in Antarctica, so Thomas explains that ancient maps show Antarctica free of snow, and that the continent might have been habitable. Weyland also explains that the pyramid is 2,000 feet below ice. Alexa then states she is going to need 2 weeks to train everyone. But Weyland says that they don't have the time for that, desiring to claim the discovery in his name, before anyone else does. So Alexa decides to leave. As she is preparing to leave, Maxwell tells her that they'll be going there with Gerald Murdoch. Alexa goes to Weyland and tells him that Gerald Murdoch only has 2 seasons of ice time, and that he isn't ready for something like this. But Weyland doesn't seem to care. So later, the others manage to convince Alexa to go with them, since they have a much better survival chance with her. We then see a spaceship hitting Earth with a laser-looking beam. Then we are sent to the team, who are preparing to go to the location of the pyramid. There they find an abandoned station, which the satellite indicates the pyramid is underneath it. They go to search around the area, and Graham goes to take a picture in a building. After taking the picture he hears a sound. Scared he starts to panic, then behind him comes Alexa, scaring him. He tells her there is something in there, but the only thing that comes out is a penguin, so he calms down and laughs it out. Then the others find a hole, which goes all the way down to the pyramid. In the recordings of the satellite, it shows that the hole wasn't there the day before. Everyone is surprised at how a hole like that could be made in one day. But we also see that they are being spied on by the predators, who start to prepare their equipments. Then we see the group preparing their gear to go down the hole. Alexa goes to get Weyland, but sees that he is sick. She tells him he shouldn't come, but he insists on going. They're done with the preparations, and start to go down the hole. As they are going down, one of the workers up on the surface, crashes in some boxes, and breaks Weyland's rope. Weyland starts to slide down, while the others try to catch him, unable to do so. But thankfully Alexa does, saving his life. Then we see the spaceship, moving throughout the abandoned station, without making a single sound. No one manages to spot it. It then drops what seemed like 3 small space shuttles. Then we see the team had reached the bottom of the hole. They turn on some lights, being amazed at the pyramid. Weyland thanks everyone, and then they start going inside. As they are moving through the corridor, one of the men steps on a plate that moves, opening what seemed like a prison, for a giant alien. Meanwhile, on the surface, we see a man scared, and is attacked by one of the predators. The others inside a building hear his scream. The door opens and they take their guns out. But unable to see the predator, since he is invincible, they all get killed. One of the men comes through the door, while the predators are hanging their prey upside down. He gets scared and starts to run. As he is trying to run from the predators, he falls down the hole. In the pyramid, the others reach a sacrificial room, in which they find dead bodies. Adele points out something. She says that the bones of the bodies are all bent out, meaning something came out of their body. We then see the giant alien, chained up, and it seems to be laying eggs that are being moved to some other place. Then we see the guy that fell down the hole. As soon as he wakes up, two of the predators move past him, while the other one stops, and kills him. We then see the team. They find another room under the one they are in, and decide they'll go there. Maxwell splits up the group, telling one side to stay in the sacrificial room, while they go on the other. In the other room, they find a sarcophagus with a combination lock of the calendar. Sebastian figures out that the dials are set for 1904, and that someone had opened it 100 years ago. So he puts the date 100 years after it was opened, managing to successfully open it. Inside they spot three things that look like guns. They pick them up. And as soon as they do that, the doors of the place start to close. On the sacrificial room, after the doors get closed, eggs that the alien laid starts to appear. Some things start to come out of the eggs and start to attack Adele and the others. Adele wakes up and sees the creatures that attack them, attached to the heads of the others. Then inside her body something starts to move. It starts to forcefully come out of her chest, killing her. Then we see the predator spying on the others. It quietly killed one of the men, but his gun drops, alerting the others. They manage to spot the predator and start shooting. But then the walls of the pyramid start to move, splitting the group apart. We see one man is alone and shouting for the others. But the only one this alerts is the aliens, which kill him. Then we see Alexa, Sebastian, Maxwell, and Weyland together. Sebastian tests a theory in which he thinks the walls of the pyramid move every 10 minutes. And that is proven to be right. The walls start to move, and then we see Mark and Graham going through a door that opened. As they move through the narrow corridors, they go to the place where the alien killed the man from before. Mark spots the gun and picks it up. As soon as he does that, he hears the screams of the aliens and starts to panic, looking around not sure where the sounds are coming from. But then the floor below him opens up and he falls down. There, he sees one of the aliens looking at him. He prepares to open fire on it, but as soon as he is about to do that, two more show up from his sides, killing him. As Graham runs back to see what happened, he spots an alien looking at him, and then gets attacked. Then we see the others. As they are walking, they get attacked by the predators, who throw a net at Maxwell, that tightens up and burns anything it touches. The others try to free Maxwell, but get easily beaten down by the predator. While the net tightens, it burns Maxwell's skull, killing him. Alexa is then attacked by another predator. As it's about to finish her off, it gets attacked by an alien that kills him. The other predator sees what happened, and lets go of Sebastian to go fight against the alien. As the two creatures fight, the group runs away. The predator almost manages to win the fight by cutting the alien's tail, and then throwing it around. The alien uses its acid blood to distract the predator and then sneaks up behind him. The predator manages to spot it, and throws a net at it. They both fall down the floor below, and the alien starts to melt through the net because of its acid blood. It then jumps on top of the predator, and kills him. Then as the group is running, the other predator catches up. Weyland then tells the two of them to run while he occupies the predator. The predator then goes to kill him. However, it refrained from killing him when it detected that he was dying of cancer, evidently considering him unworthy prey. When the predator turns to go for the others, Weyland uses his medicinal inhaler and a flare to create fire. Unable to do any damage to the predator, it only angers him, and then the predator kills Weyland. The walls start to move, Alexa and Sebastian. They run up to two walls that are closing, trying to run from the predator. In the last second, Sebastian manages to go through it, and as soon as he jumps down, the predator throws a shuriken at him, almost killing him. Then we see the predator getting sneaked up from an alien. But before the alien could attack, the predator cuts his head off. while Alexa and Sebastian watch through a small hole. The predator takes his mask off, and using the alien blood he marks it, and his head. And Sebastian explains to Alexa that, ancient warriors marked themselves with the blood of their kill. After doing that, an alien seems to sneak up on the predator, but the scene ends before we could see what happened. Then Sebastian reads some markings on the wall. The markings tell the story of the predators, and how they found Earth, and helped humans to build and develop. They were worshipped as gods, and every 100 years they would come back. When they did, they would expect a sacrifice, where humans were used to breed the ultimate prey. They would then battle the prey, to prove themselves worthy of the mark. But if they lost, they made sure nothing survived. Then, they start to get chased by one of the aliens. They run through a corridor that has a giant hole through it. They jump, but Alexa doesn't make it all the way and almost falls. But Sebastian manages to catch her, saving her life. Then the alien shows up behind him, and starts to drag him away. Alexa then starts to walk through the corridors, and the predator shows up behind her. She doesn't run away, instead, she decides to give the weapon they found on the sarcophagus to him, since that's all he was chasing them for. Before he could get his weapon, he gets attacked by one of the aliens. After putting down the predator, the alien goes after Alexa. But she manages to grab the predator's spear, piercing the alien with it and killing it. The predator gets up and had his new weapon ready. And then some aliens show up, running towards them. But the predator with his new gun manages to kill most of them. But as he is doing that, the giant alien screams, and all the other small ones go towards it. Then the predator, impressed with Alexa for killing the alien that attacked them at first, he uses parts of the dead alien to fashion weapons for Alexa, and the two form an alliance. Then we see the giant alien, and the small ones going to attack her, to make her bleed, so the blood could melt the chains and free her. Alexa finds Sebastian, who has become the host for the aliens. So Alexa has no other choice but to kill him, and free him of the pain. Then the predator starts to activate a bomb to kill all the aliens and destroy the pyramid. After he activates the bomb, they both start to run outside. They get chased by the aliens but manage to escape, reaching the surface while the bomb goes off. Outside, the predator takes his mask off, and gives Alexa the mark of the hunter. But as soon as he does that, the giant alien appears, having survived the explosion. They start to fight. And in the end, they defeat it by pushing it over a cliff, dragging her to the ocean floor. But in the battle, the predator gets fatally wounded. After this, a predator ship appears, some predators come out of it to retrieve their fallen comrade. And an elder predator presents Alexa with one of their spears, as a gift. And they depart. Alexa walks over to a snowcat and leaves the area. On the predator ship, the dead predator's body lays in rest, when an alien erupts from his chest. And that is where the movie ends. Hope you all enjoyed this recap. Make sure to leave a like, comment on what you think about it, and don't forget to subscribe, so I can make more recaps of movies, TV shows, animes, etc. See you all on the next video.